If you've ever done something and you felt stupid afterwards, don't worry. I've got something that will make you feel better because you will never be stupider than the fans in this video. Okay, I cannot express to you, and I don't necessarily blame them, but there are just certain things that you like have to make sure of before you celebrate. You know, the birth of your child. Like, let's make sure everything's all right before you celebrate. When you get your meal at McDonald's, let's check and make sure they got the order right before you celebrate. Like, you know, those things obviously on the exact same tier. But this one, I'm talking maybe even a tier above. If you were about to celebrate your club getting promoted, let's make sure that your club's going to get promoted before you celebrate, before you start carrying people around on your freaking shoulders, right? And throwing a giant party on the field. Now, I'm going to set the scene. It's in the second division of the Netherlands. There's a match, two different matches. The teams involved are Roda JC and Groningen, right? They're battling for second in the league, right? Because if you finish top two, you are automatically promoted into the Eredivisie, right? That's what they're playing for. Huge moment. So, Roda JC is playing against SC Comber. Tough match. First hour, nobody scores. Wassa scores in the 65th minute. Roda JC gets another goal in the 75th minute, so they are going to win. They are going to beat SC Comber here today. They are delivering the freaking goods. The other match is between Groningen and Telstar. Telstar is in 17th. The situation here is that if Roda JC wins, they'll be on 75 points. If Groningen wins, they'll be on 74 points. So it's only a 1-point lead for Roda JC. So the only way anybody's clinching anything is if Roda JC wins and Groningen somehow loses to the team that's in 17th. But you'll never guess what happened. In the opening minute, Telstar's Edajuri, I would assume, he scores a goal. And Telstar has a 1-0 lead over Groningen all the way down to the 95th minute. At which point, the match in Roda ends. Like Roda JC's match ends at Roda, I should have said. And they win 2-0, and they see in the 95th minute that it is Telstar 1, Groningen 0. And then this happens.
Hier is de wedstrijd nu afgelopen. Er wordt gejuicht om de 3 punten, maar mensen komen nu ook al het veld op, terwijl die wedstrijd in Velsen-Zuid nog helemaal niet is afgelopen. Daar wordt nog een minuut of 4 gespeeld. En 1 doelpunt van Groningen betekent dat er nog helemaal geen promotie...
So the fans explode onto the field. Now the match, the Groningen match with Telstar, it's not over, right? It's 94th, 95th minute, and you can see those players right there that are huddling around on the touchline, they are locking in. They're locking in, and they know what's up. They're watching the end of the match. They're Manchester United. They've just heard the news at the Stadium of Light. That's what's about to happen to them, right? Like, they're sitting there looking at their phones, like watching the match just to make sure that Telstar doesn't blow it. Then we go over to the Groningen match. Groningen's in the dark color. Telstar's in the light color, right in front of what I believe is the Groningen away end in this instance. 1-0, 95th minute, here you go.
Veel mensen van Groningen in de 16. Telstar heeft iedereen terug. De jongen brengt in, kopballetje, valt erin! Van Bergen en Groningen leeft nog. De promotie is nog mogelijk.
Now, I don't speak Dutch, right? But de promotie is, right? That sounds like the promotion is still on, and it is. Look what it means to the Groningen players. They knew they had to score. What a header. Don't know what the goalkeeper's doing there. He thought it was going into the post or the other side of it. He didn't quite know where his goal was, so that sucks for Telstar and really sucks for Roda. And I remind you, as this is happening, there's that little clock in the corner. This is a minute after Roda JC's match ends, and the fans come onto the field. So the fans are already on the field celebrating promotion as Groningen has scored. And the goal makes it 1-1. So the situation is Roda JC is on 75 points. Groningen is on 72 points. So you're thinking Roda JC is totally fine. Like, they're probably going to get promoted anyway. All they need is a point in their last match. There's a plot twist on that coming later. But first, you have to watch how all of this news is received at Roda JC, because you are already mid-celebration. You are already celebrating promotion to the Eredivisie.
Er is een groepje dat naar schermpjes kijkt en nu ook ziet dat Groningen een doelpunt maakt.
So the players very quickly and clearly, the players are watching this on their phone. They're watching the score. I don't know if they're actually watching the game, right? They realize it's not over, right? There's that relief that comes when you finally think something is over, a battle all season to get promoted, and then all of a sudden that relief is gone and you realize next week's it's gonna be even bigger pressure.
Ja, dat is even slikken en dat is even verbijten. De hand voor het gezicht bij Enrique Peña Zauner. Wat een ongekend rare situatie in het Parkstad Limburg stadion. En dan gaat hier ineens weer een gejuich op. Want die wedstrijd ging nog door. En Telstar heeft blijkbaar gescoord. Want iedereen hier...
And the first plot twist in this is 3 minutes later. You see that guy like, oh my God. Telstar scores. Telstar scores a goal later in the match. So even though the celebration was just off because they thought that Groningen had equalized, Telstar has now scored, so the celebration is back on. The drama not over.
In Kerkrade gaat het veld op alsof de wereldbeker binnen is. Wat is dit nou? Wij zitten natuurlijk niet in Velsen-Zuid, maar de berichten die wij doorkrijgen is dat het in die wedstrijd Telstar Groningen gewoon 1-1 staat. Het 1-1 is gebleven.
So the fans are back on the field. They're celebrating, unbeknownst to them, the goal that Telstar scores basically right at the end of the match is disallowed, which means it means they're not promoted again for the second time. They've pump faked the promotion celebration for the second time, and now they have to realize it all over again.
Welke informatie hier verspreid wordt, geen idee. Maar dan gaat hier nog steeds een feestje verder.
And the first person that you see in this video that I believe realizes it is that one dude you just saw in the background. This guy right here is going to look at his phone and then react in a way where he seems to realize the Telstar goal is disallowed and it is 1-1 final score, Groningen and Telstar.
Gaat hier nog steeds een feestje verder.
And then you have a celebrating player who's sitting on the shoulders of somebody else, and like I'm assuming a coach has to come tell him that they have not been promoted.
Het doelpunt is afgekeurd. Het blijft dus gewoon 1-1.
Ja, en nu...
Sorry.
That what you heard right there, that's the PA announcer coming onto the speaker to tell them that the Telstar goal has been disallowed. It was 1-1 between Telstar and Groningen, and that means for the second time in less than 10 minutes, Roda JC fans have to stop celebrating promotion because they have not been promoted. And that brings us to the absolutely epic answer of who Roda JC is playing on the final day. Actually, no, I just found this, and this is really funny, and I want you to see it too. This is a player riding around carrying the corner flag that they have to get down. They have to stop him.
Gevierd werd. De fans die hier het veld opkwamen, die dachten dat Telstar op 2-1 zou zijn gekomen. De stadionspeaker die het zelfs heeft opgeroepen, maar nu dat moet herstellen. Het is geen...
I feel so bad for him, obviously. Like, I'm not trying to just, like, laugh on these people's misery. It's just, his face is so sad. Like, can you imagine that start of the pure elation of a promotion celebration 2 separate times? And then it's just somehow taken away. It's got to feel like a cruel joke. It's got to feel excruciatingly painful. But the grand reveal, as I first noticed from a tweet from Eurofoot, is the next game, the final game for Roda JC, is against Groningen, which means there is essentially a winner-take-all match to get promotion to the Eredivisie. So Roda JC thought it was promoted 2 separate times in a 10-minute stretch, didn't get promoted, and now has to play in the ultimate pressure cauldron of a winner-take-all game. Because if Groningen wins, they're second. Right? Goal difference, results between teams, right? Groningen's going to be second if they win. Roda JC is going to be second if they win. Obviously, if there's a draw, Roda JC will be the team that's automatically promoted. But Groningen, with its goal at Telstar, with the late disallowed goal, has its opportunity to actually complete one of the greatest back-from-the-dead promotion performances you've ever seen. And Roda JC has the opportunity to get screwed harder than maybe any club or fan base that you've seen. Now, you got to wait. This is why you got to wait for that little thing to say final before you actually storm the field. But can you blame fans for when it's 94th minute, they start celebrating, and then a goal, and they start celebrating again? No, I can't blame them too much. But you definitely got to feel like an idiot, and you'll feel like a turbo idiot, a particularly strong idiot, right? If they happen to not get promoted at all. Now, there is a playoff system. If they finish in third, they will be the most likely playoff team, obviously, to make it because it's one of those tiered playoff systems where if you finish third, you have to wait for like previous playoff rounds to be concluded and you're already like basically in the semifinal or the final. I can't remember exactly how it works. I managed in the second division of the Netherlands on Football Manager before. But in this promotion and relegation season, it's time to pour one out for Roda JC because these boys thought they were joining Willem 2 going up. But it turns out they're actually going to be playing a match in the Dutch second division that I will absolutely be watching. A winner-take-all match for promotion. Freaking sign me up. It's like a playoff final, but at the end of the regular season. And then we got another playoff final. Oh, 'tis the season for high peak drama. And it 'tis the season to learn lessons. Do not celebrate your promotion before it happens. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. At least I've been told. I don't know. I've never had chickens.